Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Dijamco, the MultiDimensional MD. My mission is to help bring the intuitive spirit back to medicine in practical and tangible ways so that you can access deeper healing and experience more peace, love, and joy in your everyday lives. Today, I'm going to be talking about thyroid health and your voice. So, more specifically, the energetic aspects of the thyroid and your voice. Because in the last week, I have seen so many people with thyroid issues, whether new ones or chronic ones or recurrence of old thyroid issues. So when I see a pattern in my life or in my practice, then I know that there's more people out there that could benefit from this message. And that's why I come on here to share these topics with you so that you or someone you know can benefit from this information too. So, what I'm going to go over today is to talk about the energetic aspects of thyroid issues, and specifically the energetic meaning of the thyroid and the throat chakra, some questions to reflect on, and a thyroid meditation that I'll walk my patients through. And then last, I'll do a brief EFT tapping to address the energetic aspects of your thyroid and your voice. So, share this episode, watch this if you or someone you know has thyroid issues, or if you'd like more clarity in your voice. And then you might also like to check out episode 96 of the Multidimensional MD because I did an overview of thyroid issues, including some nutritional support for thyroid issues. So let's start with the throat chakra, which is right here where your thyroid is, and your throat and your voice box, your larynx. And this is so interesting because what does this represent for us? This is our voice, our expression of ourselves. And recently came across a clip, a reel from James Vanderbeek, who, if throwback to Dawson's Creek, if those of you that were around in the late 90s, early 2000s, he played Dawson from Dawson's Creek, but he has recently shared more about his own health journey and his issues facing mortality and realizing that he is a being worthy of love, not based on his job, his roles in life as a father and husband, or anything else he did. He is simply loved for being. And that is a very important message. And I thank him for sharing this message with his wider audience because we are we are firstly spiritual beings, and we are loved no matter what. We are loved simply for being. Life can get really busy, and we can consider, like, who are we when we remove all of our titles and roles? Who are we if we remove the things that we are doing and the things that we are known by? Who are we when we are faced with mortality? Who's the essence of you? And that can sometimes be hard to hear through all the busyness of life, with work, with family, taking care of everyone, whether through your job or being caretaker in so many different ways, or even through our own worry loops that are just cycling through our minds. It can create all of this distraction that we start to lose touch with the essence of our being. So, who are we when we feel completely free to be and express ourselves? Now, that expression can be through words like talking and writing, but it doesn't have to be. There are many ways to express ourselves that can come through all the many different art forms: music, dance, painting, drama, or it's simply innovating in your life, whether you're an engineer or not, creating things, innovating, or a business person, figuring out things, or any kind of profession, but anything that you are actively doing in your life can be a form of creation because you have this choice of what you can do in your life. And it's not focusing on what we can't do, but focusing on what we can do. So when we start to feel boxed in, it's considering what can we do, and using that as a creative expression. So this expression is not measured by stuff or material things, but by our own authenticity and resonance with our true selves, with that light and love of our beings, and our unique essence, which is an expression of the greater oneness of the greater spirit that is, again, all light and love. And so we can consider, like, what is our authentic expression, and can we hear our own voices? Can you name how you feel at any moment? If not, then just start by practicing, just calling out, what do I feel right now? Because when you are in all the busyness, it can get real it can get easy to be, like, push through things, and so that you numb out, like, exactly how you're feeling, that authenticity of your experience. And so taking a pause and asking yourself, "How do I feel right now?" You could actually set on your phone a timer of chiming at certain times during the day, maybe as a reminder to ask yourself to do a quick check-in and say, "Hey, me, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What do you feel in your body? What are you feeling emotionally? What thoughts are going through your mind?" And knowing that no matter what it is, we can breathe through it. And it's not a goal of necessarily changing anything per se, but to allow ourselves to be with ourselves at any given moment in any state that we are in. And that is so beautiful. Oh, Eric, you have that exact same reminder on your phone at 2:30 every day. I love that that you're already doing it, because we need these constant reminders, because it is a moment to moment phenomenon. When we talk about enlightenment or getting to know ourselves, it is a moment to moment phenomenon. And just today, people are asking me, when will I be through of getting to know myself and all these aspects of myself that I need to bring back home to me. And it's not that, it's about our own soul's journey through this lifetime. So we can get to know ourselves like moment to moment, but there's always this ever expansion of knowing yourself, because you have so many facets to you. There's so much depth to you. And when you are this spiritual being condensed into human form, there are infinite facets to you, and you won't really get to finish getting to know yourself. And that's part of the fun of it, is that you are this infinite being, getting to see what you get to do and create in a finite form, in 3D form. Now, related to your thyroid are also your adrenals, and many of your other endocrine organs, as well as your nervous system. Of course, everything has to be coordinated. But I like to consider adrenals specifically with the thyroid, because a lot of times people start to get run down and the adrenals will get run down. And if that happens, then the thyroid is easily affected. So, especially if we're really stressed. And so consider with the adrenals, are you listening to your body? Are you, running the mill, and not listening to when you're tired or might need some more time for rest and rejuvenation? Because if you have thyroid issues, sometimes you simply need more rest to allow your engine to catch up, to recuperate, rejuvenate, to allow yourself to re-nourish and fill yourself with nourishing foods and nourishing thoughts, so that you have the energy to run on. But it's more starting from that metaphysical energy, and then also the food energy as well. So we're integrating both the higher dimensions of the spirit and our being, and the 3D world. And this is the human experience. So we have to look at things in a multidimensional way to feel whole. And then from a bigger perspective, also considering the adrenals and your thyroid, are you following your calling? That doesn't mean like completely dropping everything and changing your life in a drastic way. Sometimes it could be, but often it isn't. It's just fine tuning your perspective. Are you following your calling? Are you listening to the needs of your body? Are you listening to the needs of your mind? You can't be running your mind all the time. It does need rest as well. And are you following your calling in terms of It could be simply like, are you overhelping? Are you overextending yourself? Are you being guided to help? Or are you just your mind, your ego mind, making the decision that you have to fix things for everybody, even yourself, in order for things to look a certain way? Are you avoiding uncomfortable emotions by trying to control things in your life? So there might be parts of yourself that you need to bring home and listen to those small parts of yourself that feel like they're crying, or big parts. They might be a hidden anger. It might be a hidden sadness, or they might be at the surface and need tending to. So these are all parts of yourself that are like that scared child or baby that just need to be hugged in and brought back home to yourself so that you can feel whole and you can claim your whole being and infuse it with all of your essence. Again, that essence is your unique expression of the stillness that is all light and love. So there is nothing truly to be afraid of in getting to know yourself and getting to know that authenticity of your essence. But we have human emotions. And yes, we can feel fear. And it's more about addressing how about if we're considering, like, what if we're not afraid to be afraid? What if we're not afraid to address those aspects of ourselves that we want to tuck away or look away from? What if we had the courage to look at them and tended to them so that we could bring them home? So I'm going to go over a thyroid meditation that I will walk my patients through, and you can do this for yourself, whether you have thyroid issues or not, or you just want more clarity in your voice, or you have any other issues right here in your throat. So it could be sore throats, it could be um, uh, speaking problems, laryngitis, losing your voice, all of those things. It can even be swallowing difficulties because you can involve like part of this throat chakra area. So take a nice big breath and then just sigh that out. And then you can place one hand on your thyroid area, on your throat area, just lightly. You're not going to be creating more tension there. And or you could just do it with your awareness. But if you place your hand on, sometimes it can be easier to place your awareness on the area because your awareness will follow where your hands are. So as you place your hand there, so one or both of them, then you can breathe into your throat area and just breathe into the space of it and breathe into the space of your whole being to help it integrate. And then as you breathe into the space of your thyroid and your throat area, throat chakra, ask gently if there are any messages for you or any emotions that come up. They might trickle in. There might be some confusion. You might have feelings you may not be able to explain right away or put a word to, and that's okay. Just acknowledging each one as they come up and using your breath to breathe into each one freely. So there's no goal except to breathe into each aspect of yourself that comes to the surface and acknowledge. So this is you being with yourself. And that is such freedom to allow yourself to be in whatever state you are in. The freedom to feel joy, the freedom to feel sadness, the freedom to address frustrations and angers, the freedom to feel all of it at once and feel confused. And you giving your space to feel that is so loving and can give yourself that energy it needs to shift in whatever way that your being would like to. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure to contain and there's no pressure to change. And that is the glorious expansion of it all. So that's a nice, it's relatively easy thyroid meditation, but if you sit and do it for yourself and really feel through each one, it can be quite profound. If this starts to bring up too much for you, that is okay. Pause and get help, I'm always happy to work with you in person or do some energetic work with people over a distance as well. And I will help to hold and create space for you, this healingness with you, and we can go through it together. And give yourself the freedom for that too, the freedom to ask for help when you need to, because that is is something that many times gets overlooked, especially when we're really busy and taking care of other things and taking care of other people. And I know that too, as a mom of four and as a physician and as a teacher, I'm taking care of so many people, that it's really important for me to take care of myself and to ask for help if I ever feel overwhelmed. Or sometimes, I will actually welcome many coaches into my own life to help me periodically and routinely, and not wait for things to get built up and spiral out of control. So I'll meet with people regularly. Most months I do, so that I can tend to myself. I'm telling you that because to help give yourself permission to do the same for yourself. And so last, I'm going to go through another meditation, but this is going to be done EFT style. So emotional freedom technique, which is tapping on certain meridian points so that you can hear yourself and express yourself freely. So we will go through that together. So we're going to start with tapping on this, what they call this karate chop point, which is the side of your hand underneath your pinky. um, so you can either tap both sides of your hands together or tap one side. And this is also the small intestine's meridian and can be involved with how we're digesting life and various worries. So we will say together, or you'll listen to me and you can say for yourself and tap here, even though my glands might be out of balance, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I have trouble hearing myself, I'm willing to learn. Even though I don't always feel safe to express myself freely, I am loved no matter what. And then we're going to tap gently inside the eyebrows, at the start of the eyebrows. Sometimes it's hard to hear my own voice. Outside the eyes, who am I if I'm not my roles? Who am I if I'm not what I do? Under the eyes, why does my body feel confused? Why do I have trouble hearing the messages of my body? Under the nose, how could I better integrate all parts of me? Under your mouth, on that little line, how can I harmonize my body, mind, and spirit? The start of your collarbones, how can I have the courage to face and process my fears and worries? And under the arm, at the nipple line for men and at the bra line for women, how can I see my own essence, that light and love of my soul, with more clarity? Top of the head, how can I embody myself with my full presence? One more round inside the eyes, what would it feel like if I was not afraid of being afraid? Outside the eyes, what if I felt safe to address hidden or not so hidden anger and frustrations? Under the eyes, what would if I felt safe to address what if under the eyes again, what would it feel like to trust in something greater than me? What would it feel like to trust in something greater than me? Under the nose, what if I could have endless trust in spirit? under the mouth. I ask for help and guidance from spirit, from the stillness, from the oneness, from the universe, whatever you're comfortable saying. The collarbones. I breathe into the fullness of my essence. Under the arm. I infuse my whole being with my essence. I breathe that into my lungs, into my heart, into my throat, into my thyroid, into my mind, into my whole body and the space I occupy, and the wholeness of my being, including the energy all around my physical body. Top of the head. I allow my voice to be a more pure expression of my essence. And take a nice big breath and then sigh that out. You can come back to this EFT tapping at any time, or you could do the thyroid meditation that we did before anytime that you would like to, and make variations of your own, because that is part of your own creative process and the expression of your being. Now, I hope that was helpful for you in some way. If you found it helpful, then please share it with anyone that you think could benefit from it. And if you'd like to connect with me in other ways, you can on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on Facebook, All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, and on my website, allworldshealth.com. You can sign up for my e-love letters. I send them out about once a week, and I would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below if you're on YouTube. And again, like and subscribe, and let me know where you're listening from. So lots of love to all of you. I will see you next time on another episode of the MultiDimensional MD. I believe in you, and I hope that you believe in you too. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.